Really, Nancy? Dookie talk? Definitely going to talk about this. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for Love is Blind, Season 3, Episodes 3 and 4, The First Night Together and Meet Your Exes. Guys, this show is super duper entertaining. I'm really enjoying it, and so subscribe if this is your first time here. If you want to see me geek out over each episode, I will be talking about 5, 6, 7, all the way to the end, and I cannot wait. But if you also go check out my episodes 1 and 2 recap too. That is a lot of fun. But jumping right into this one right here, we get these men proposing to these women in the pods, and it's going down. We got Matt proposing to Colleen, the gymnast, the ballet dancer, professional ballet dancer. We also have Andrew proposing to Nancy, and she says no. And this guy, Andrew, I mean, he was cool at first, but like I said in my last recap, he is too artificial. Just like Nancy said, he's too calm. He's too collected. He's too this, he's too that. He's trying to put forth some type of bravado attitude, and it's just not really working out. It seems very fake to me, and I'm glad that Nancy was able to sniff that out. And this is ridiculous. I don't know what's up with Andrew, but what's up with the fake crying, bro? Like, I was feeling you, even though you was a bit artificial. I didn't think you was going to take it as far as trying to emote fake tears on camera. You know people going to see this on TV, so you want these ladies to hit you up in the DMs. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with wanting a woman to hit you up, but be truthful about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to put eye drops in. And I'm glad that they showed that behind the scenes, because he was like, hey, is this okay that I do that? And you can hear the producer in the backstage. It's like, well, hey, if you really feel that your eyes are hurting, feel free. Drop. I just didn't think that I could fall in love with somebody that dumped me, or whatever he said. And so that's just interesting right there. But I did not like that at all. But, hey, it is what it is. You guys let me know what you think, if you are a fan of Andrew or not. I am not myself. But Bartise did give Bartise did give Raven kind of the boot at the end of episode 2, or the middle of it. But now he is proposing to Nancy, and she says yes. And I'm happy about this. At the end of episode 1, we already got Brennan and Alexa meeting, but now the rest of the couples that were able to hit it off in the pods, they are proposing, they are meeting for the first time, and I liked it. It was really nice and genuine when Matt saw Colleen for the first time. I can tell, I was like, oh, this dude is happy. And Colleen is an attractive woman. I mean, she's not my type, but she still is an attractive woman. I don't necessarily know if I would flirt with her if I saw her out and about, but she still is attractive. We can read between the lines if you want to, but it was pretty nice to see Matt as happy as he was, and I think that Colleen was pretty happy too. It was also really nice to see Bartise and Nancy get together as well. She got them cha-chas out there, and she is showing them, and they was bouncing, as she was walking and running throughout both episodes. And I was looking, to be honest with you, but I'm glad that Bartise was able to find some love as well. And we're going to talk about Bartise later on, because I got some serious commentary from him. So, of course, we got Matt and Colleen, they hitting it off, and then Brennan and Alexa, they hitting it off. And also we have Cole and Zanab too. And that's seems like a match made in heaven as well. I'm just liking their energy when them seeing each other. It's just nice. Like, oh, this is the person that I've been getting to know the past 10 days. And so that was pretty dope right there. But when we get to SK and Raven and SK look happy, but Raven did not. It was all over her face. It was so blatantly obvious that she was like, oh, what am I getting into? Like, the way she was walking up, and then she was like looking down, trying to smile. She was like, ah, and then she was walking like this. I was like, man, this is, it's like, golly, I was so uncomfortable watching it. It was so cringe. I'm like, oh no. It's not SK's fault. I mean, it's nobody's fault. It's just, there's just no chemistry there, especially physically. And I don't even really think it's emotionally, because I really think that why do I keep saying Nancy? I really think that Raven only went with SK because she was turned down from Bartise. And that's not good. I mean, he had his arms around her. She had this going on. It just looked like she was looking like crap what did I get myself into? I got to get out of here. This is no bueno. SK is going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, my brother. But also, I kind of felt sorry for Matt, too, in the beginning, because I know he was I know I would have been a nervous wreck if this happened to me. As Colleen is like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. I think that she's happy, but you can hear him in the audio. It was kind of like, he was like, yeah, let me give you this ring. They're like, come here. And he's trying to, like, put it on her. But she's just like, oh, my God, oh, my God. And I'm just like, he's like, oh, man, like, does she not want the ring? And, like, it just, that rejection right there, even if it's only for a split second, I know his heart dropped to the floor, you know. So I just know that was like, oh, what do I do? Does she not want the ring? Is she trying to be nice because there's cameras and lights everywhere? You know, what am I going to do? But, you know, they end up hitting it off and having sex and all that. And so that's nice right there. It's cool. I'm glad that he finally was able to put the ring on. But I am glad that they had, well, for the most part, everybody had a great first night together. It was funny to me. I actually started laughing when Brennan and Alexa was getting to know each other, and she was like, hey, I took my allergy pill and here's a spider. Oh, we even haven't talked about spiders yet. And it's just so funny that this experiment they're proposing and they're engaged now, but there's just so much stuff that they haven't talked about, not just Brennan and Alexa, but all the couples, you know, like, oh, we didn't talk about this, we didn't talk about that. And they're talking about, I can't do cockroaches. Can you do this? And, you know, take care of it. He's like, yeah, I got you. You know, cockroaches are no big deal for me. And so that was cool. And I'm thinking that Brennan and Alexa are the best match made out of this whole experience. But at the same time, there was still a little cringe-worthy moments between them. When they was outside under the tree with the lights, it was like a lantern catching bugs and trying to throw it. He said something like, you know, oh, it's a country thing, girl. And that kind of like rubbed her the wrong way. And she's like, I can't. And I'm just like, man, it just really sucks, you know, like these little awkward moments that people are having, you know, back and forth. Now, it was also nice, just these little things. It was cool when Bartice and Nancy, they were in their room in the resort, not a hotel, but in their accommodations, and she was just having a little trouble trying to close or open the curtain. You know, Bartice was like, I got you. I don't know. That was no big deal, but at the same time, it was a big deal. It was nice. It was cohesive. It was love. Well, maybe not love, but I don't know. It was just that little thing that was like, oh, that's nice. He was able to help out with the curtain, and they kind of made like a little joke about that, like, oh, I'm glad I met you. What would I do without you? And all that. So I really did appreciate that. Now, something that I don't want to say I didn't appreciate it, but Cole is annoying to me. Like, maybe he's just a really nice guy in real life. I don't know, because those shows right here that we're watching, they're really clever with the editing and to try to make you seem like something is going on when that's not the case. The last episode or before, either was it 2 or 1, where Cole was in the pod with Brannigan. He's like, oh, I don't do nurses. I was just looking at a lot of people that I follow online, and I know a lot of them were turned off by that, especially the women, like, boy, who don't do nurses? Get out of here. You ugly and stuff. And I know that put a lot of bad taste in people's mouth. And I wonder if that's the same thing with episodes 3 and 4, because Cole is just, he's like, I know he's 25, 26 years old, but he's just a bit childish for me to be dating this 31-year-old woman. Like, and I don't know what's up with him and these random questions that he asks people that he has in his back pocket, because when they was in the pod, when he was dating Alexa, he just randomly asked, well, I don't want to say randomly because we didn't see the whole cut, but hey, who do you think will win, a gorilla or a grizzly bear? And then when he's in the pool with Zanab, as they're trying to get to know each other, it's awkward to me. He's doing little things like this and stuff. And he's like, this is a boring conversation. I don't want to. I'm like, bro, well, lead the conversation better. You know what I'm saying? At least I know you're honest, but hey, lead the conversation better. Then he's like, what is your favorite big cat? I'm like, what is up with these random questions about animals? You're talking about gorillas and grizzly bears. Now you're talking about your favorite big cat. And he says, one of them says cougar, like, oh, I'm a cougar. But Zanab and Cole are physically compatible. They like each other's bodies, so they can smash all day till the sun comes up. But it's not, I don't think that's going to work. They were clashing too much right here, especially the next day when they was trying to play these outdoor activities and play chess. Bro, I understand, like, okay, look, on one side, you don't want to mansplain and try to explain, you know, something, you know, to like they're an idiot. You know, you don't want to do that. But at the same time, try to give some instruction if you see that they're struggling. She didn't know how to play chess, and he got his phone all out like, oh my God. look what we're doing here, guys. We're having a debate on if good and great is a word and da 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 da. I mean, he was just coming across like an ass. And I'm just like, bro, why you gotta be so obnoxious? You know, like, you know, they're trying to play table tennis. Tennis, table, ball, snap, bounce, back, forth, net. Yeah, I'm just like, stop it. You're doing too much. You're too brash. You're too cruel. It seems like he feels that he can say and do whatever he wants without there being any consequences or repercussions or anything like that. And that's just not reality. Life does not work that way. But, you know, I want Cole to be happy, but he's just kind of giving me some bad energy right now. Now, going back to the night before, we have Nancy and Bartice together. And I love their interaction. I was talking about him helping her with the curtain. And it was nice when she came through with the swimsuit on and he had her shirt off. They both looked like they were happy, that they were pleased, like they was really physically attracted to each other. And that was great. And I was like, oh, this is so sweet. Them getting in the tub, this extra small tub. I'm like, wow, this is nice right here. But all of a sudden, I don't know if it was her booty hole or her coochie or both. She's up here sucking up bubbles in the drains and it's making all these kind of fart noises. And it's just like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, this is not sexy at all. And out of nowhere, Nancy, wow, out of all the stuff you want to talk about Dookie? Like, why? Why? Like, hey, have you ever unclogged a toilet? Well, this one time I got a whole bunch of tissue stuck in there and it was just a bunch of shit and dookie in there and I didn't know what to do. I needed a Snicker and had to get away. So I used the whole toilet cleaning thing and was stuffing it in there in the hole. Shit, dookie, huh? I'm like, why are you talking about this? And if you look at Bartice's face, he don't want to make it awkward even more than it already is. So he's trying to play it cool. I can see it in his eyes. Like, okay, are we really talking about doo-doo plugs and in the toilet? Like, what's going on? And she just kept going on. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I just kept shoving it in there. Dookie, dookie. I'm like, this is the last thing that you want to talk about. It makes no sense. Like, y'all do not have a good enough rapport to do this. I know y'all are engaged, whatever, but still. I mean, married couples talk about dookie. They talk about boo-boo all the time. That's normal. I talk about, I'm 38 years old. I talk about boo-boo with my mama all the time, but that's my mama. And I remember once I was dating a woman a number of years ago, coming up on 10 years. We were comfortable. We talked about dookie often and would joke about it. And I won't get specific and all that stuff, but there's a movie, a spoof movie called, I think it's Not Another Teen Movie, where one of the characters was like, can I please take a dump on your chest, you know?
Oh no, Jake. Way too much information would be telling you that after they're done, I always take a huge dump.
Shit!
On their chest.
And for once, I wish a guy would take a dump on my chest.
I'm goofy and silly like that. That's how we would play around, but we was dating for months. Not the first night where it's supposed to be the honeymoon to where y'all half naked in the tub about to smash, and she talking about toilet cleaning tools and dookie in the toilet. So I just, man, that's really the reason why he wants Raven more than you. Not because she's physically attractive or whatever he feels more. It's because you're talking about dookie and he probably, I don't know, y'all had sex that night. You got a few rounds or maybe 3 or 4 or something. You probably could have had 7, but you wanted to talk about, now I'm being silly. But on a serious note though, like, I don't know why she wanted to talk about dookie. Like, that was just like, oh my goodness gracious. I've said my fair share of silly stuff before in my dating, like, I probably shouldn't have said that, but not to this level right here. So that was just really bizarre to me. Yeah, man, but going back to SK and Raven and SK, it's cringe. They're calling out the awkwardness and watching her. Hey, what sink do you want to use? That one just like, man, this is, I don't see where this is going. I don't think it's going to go far at all. And that really does break my heart. Even when he was washing his face and left the soap there, she's like, so you're going to wash the soap off or just let it sit there and lather? And he's like, hey, I got to let it marinate and then get into the shower and all that. So they was the only couple that didn't smash. I don't know if Brendan and Alexa, they did smash too. If not, you know, please forgive me. But I know they was talking about that the next day. But the next day when they woke up, we already talked about Cole and Zanab at the park. But even when they were getting, no, actually, let me go go back. The night before, it did not make any sense. First, he was staring at her while she was doing her nightly routine. This dude Cole gonna say, oh, you got a whole routine. You got mouthwash, a toothbrush, toothpaste, and floss. That's a full routine, bro. That's normal. That should be default. That should be automatic. So I don't know where he is in his hygiene, but if mouthwash, toothpaste, toothbrush, and floss is foreign, if that's the full package, I don't know how you can date any woman, bro, because that's just normal procedure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be a full. I would see if she. I don't even know. I can't even come up with anything clever to say because I was just so dumbfounded by that statement. Like, oh, a full, like, mouthwash that's, anyway, y'all get my point. But even when they woke up the next day, it was cringy. Like the way he was standing outside the door. Like, you got to know your partner. Everybody is different. I mean, I'm the type of guy to where I would still lay there in bed to comfort her, cuddle, if that's what she wants. But if I had to get up and go to the bathroom, or if I wanted to get up and cook her breakfast, or I got something to do, I'm still going to peek my head around the corner like, hey, good morning, sweetie. Good morning, babe. Da-da-da-da. I'm just cooking some breakfast. I'll be right back in bed. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm just not going to leave her mind wondering, like, okay, what the hell is going on? This is y'all's first night together. So you think that, he would, be more in tune with his thoughts, but apparently not. But at the same time, Zanab is a bit passive aggressive, and I can understand how that can be very, very annoying. Like, oh, I see you, Mr. 3 pillows while I only get one. You don't know. That's annoying as hell. Just be like, hey, babe, do you mind if I get a pillow? Or, or say it in a joking way. And the thing about it is, do you really need 2 pillows? Because if I'm in bed with my lady and she has 3 pillows and I have one, I'm not going to say anything just because she has more than me. If I don't need a second pillow, I don't care. You can have 11 of them things. You know what I'm saying? So they're clashing too, but I think that they will be okay, at least up until this point, that we're seeing. But then we're going back to SK and Raven and SK. And now they both tripping when they was trying to do the yoga Pilates. First of all, SK, why are you complaining, bro? I understand that yoga may not be your thing. Maybe exercise is not your thing as well. But however, when you're with somebody new and they come up with an activity that you never tried before, just try it one time. Just try it one time, give it your best, give it 100%. And after the end of that activity, if it's still not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But complaining like, oh my God, it's too hot outdoors. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. That's just whack, man. That's whack. Raven would be a bad person if she got mad at you if that wasn't your cup of tea. But if you tried it and gave it 100% and did not complain and wasn't a whiny baby, then that's fine. You tried it. I can respect that. But then on the other foot, Raven was being mean too. She was being an a-hole. Like, look, this is edited or whatever, so we don't know the degree or the everything that was saying in their conversation. But I'm just like, okay, look, Raven, if he's not used to this, he's not going to be a master at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, give some instructions. It was just bad over the whole time. And even later on, guys, when they were doing the yoga thing, the Pilates, like trying to, I don't know what they was doing. I don't even know how to describe it, but they were outside. The woman was making the nice, I don't even know how to call it. She was, the noise. It was nice. It was beautiful. I guess they was trying to meditate. And SK fell asleep. I was laughing my ass off. And I was like, oh, this is just bad. This is just bad. This couple right here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And it is super duper cringe. Even when they got up and it was sitting down on the little bench, it was like, yeah, it's still some awkward moments. And it just seems so transactional. It's like, this not just SK and Raven, just a couple of other couples too. Like, yeah, it was great. Yeah, this is great. Like, if something is great, do you have to say, oh, this is great, we're having so much fun right now? Just like, oh man, this is just weird, And I want everybody to be happy and find love, but it really feels like they're trying to, force a circle in a square hole, and it's just not going to work out. But you also know what was cute though, backing up just a little bit, when everyone woke up from the previous night and they're like, yeah, we had sex, we had fun. Like, yeah. Man, everybody has sex, but it's just funny sometimes how we giggle and laugh at that. Like, yeah, we had fun. We had sex. And a few times, especially Bartiz, is like, yeah, we had fun. We had sex. We had a few rounds too. And she was happy. And I'm happy. I'm just like, I was laughing because, I mean, Colleen was doing it. I think Matt was doing it. Bartice was doing it. Even before Nancy was like, I'm going to let him lead. And hopefully we get physical. And I know that it may not happen, but I hope it happens. I like her laugh. It's cute. She has a cute laugh. And so, she's adorable. But now we get to the good part right here where everybody gets to meet their ex who they dated for these 10 days. And man. Now, one thing, when Nick Lachey and his wife came out to introduce everybody, they already did that. That was interesting, how they chose to present that. But when all the couples were together, I will say, first of all, Raven was fine as hell with that dress. My man, she's a baddie. She's a baddie. The way Bartice was looking her, it was very suspect, bro. You got to be able to control that, man. You got your other woman right here, Nancy, looking at you. I was always saying that there was no chemistry physically between SK and Raven, but when they were standing together, when his arms were around her, they were close. That was the closest we ever saw. And when they was introducing the couples, she even laid her head on his shoulder and he laid his head on hers. And I was like, oh, that was nice. That was sweet. Looked like they was making some type of physical connection there. But as everybody's getting to know each other, and Bartice was just really salivating at the mouth about Raven. And then they're talking, I don't blame Cole. I like the conversation between Cole, SK, and Bartice. It seemed like SK kept trying to get his point across and Cole wasn't listening, and I guess until he was done. But he was like, man, I can relate. And they was all talking about the passive aggressiveness and how compatible they were and all that. And Bartice took this moment and ran with it because he took the information that SK was giving him and used that in ammunition in the bed with his soon-to-be wife, his fiance, Nancy. Bartice, I was liking you, bro, but I don't like you at all anymore. What you did in bed with your fiance, with Nancy, was ridiculous. It was disgusting. As they're getting to know each other, Nancy says, hey, I was getting to know SK, but as soon as I saw him, I'm like, hey, I'm good. I'm glad with what I have. This dude, Bartice, gonna say, well, I had the exact opposite. Man, this girl right here, Raven, oh my gosh, she is a 100% smokehouse. Like, oh my gosh, she is hot. That's who I would go for. Like, woo, I'm falling in love with two different women where I like, man, she was fine and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I felt so sorry for Nancy. She was just sitting there like, just in shocked and disbelief, as I was too. Like, bro, what is wrong with you? I mean, if you want to say this while you're in the confessional, like he was like, hey, I just kind of feel like I gave Raven the boot too early. She's very attractive. She's hot. She's a smokehouse. This is where I would go. If you want to tell it to your boys, if you want to say that in a confessional, fine. I get it. But to say that in bed to this woman that knows that, like, that is in love with you, that was just mean and evil, man, and messed up. You have no heart. You have that's just disgusting. I cannot believe he would do something like that. I was just like, whoa, this dude is crazy. He is really crazy for doing something like this. And I mean, I don't want to wish anything bad on the guy, but that was just really messed up. That was really messed up, and I don't know why he would do something like that. That's real messed up, though, man. That's real. I hope Nancy's gonna be okay, because if I was her, I'd be uber pissed. But we're gonna see, guys. We are going to see, and I cannot wait to come back and talk to you guys about episodes 5 and 6 that's coming next week. Subscribe if you want more. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. Thanks for helping me reach 40,000 subscribers. Watch all my other videos. Peace.